Alright, hello and good evening to you. Thanks, Mr. Man. Appreciate it. I was thinking I gotta do some more of the animating side of things, you know? It's a lot of fun, actually. Thinking about, well, I'm not gonna tell you what I'm thinking about. It'll be a surprise when we get there. Yeah, so, yeah, but anyways, that's how we like to chill. We like to just be chill and fun and cute, I guess, a little bit. Endearing. I don't know. Anyways, maybe we're getting too mushy. Well, of course we're getting mushy. You know why? Because Glebenstein. Well, yeah, that's right. We are about to get Gleba on. So in the last episode, we pretty much got everything flowing. We got science flowing and everything completely set up, so that was really cool. But now we need to secure it. So I'm thinking tonight we're going to be working on our border and setting up rocket turret production and just getting squanch. We're just going to get some squanch going. You know what I mean? Like, just got to get some serious squanch. But yeah, get some exports happening, get some rocket turrets happening, just get all of the things happening and get a nice big secure border around Gleba so that we can leave this planet in peace and never come back. Am I right? I mean, geez, oh god, what a gross, disgusting mess. Well, not really, but yeah, can you show me your Coverx process? Oh yeah, okay. I have a video on it, Exo, so I mean, if you don't want to think about it, you can just grab the blueprint. But my setup here on this planet is not the premium setup. This is actually the old setup, but I do have the blueprint in here for Jarvix processing. So this is what I did. So this is how I would do it now. I should actually replace this whole thing. But this is the setup, and the blueprint, like I said, you can check my channel for Coverx processing if you haven't seen that video, and the blueprint for this is there, and it's tileable in both directions actually. Didn't tile here because of this power, but you could tile it in both directions, and then you can kind of go like a zigzag through it if you really wanted to have a square. Oh, thanks, Jason. Yeah, appreciate it. I have since updated both of the blueprints, both videos. Blueprints for the train system. Oh shit. Oh. Oops. Derp. I'm telling you, my brain's a little bit scorched after that weekend in the sun. That was a big derp. Oh, here, check out what I'm looking at. You're not looking at it. But yeah, so this is the old Coverx processing, which is like this square here, but I made the blueprint here a lot smaller for this tiling, so I'll even tile it maybe over here. It's nice and tileable. You can just go as far as you want. You can even go down, and you can zigzag through it. But if we want to look at just one of those, oops, just one of them, based in a book, Power Coverx. It actually is two of them in one, but anyways, the blueprint is in the video. So if you want to even just get the blueprint and design your own, I mean, why would you want to design your own after you got this blueprint? Am I right? Am I right? Like, it's great because it actually works without any circuitry. Somebody said, oh, well, you got green wires, so that's circuitry, but like, not really, sort of. Yeah. Yeah, it's nice. It's a really good setup. You just have the greens going through one way and the light greens going in the other way. And you can see that these would be the light greens. But yeah, yeah, I kind of designed the base of it here, but it's nice because it's just, you have to self-charge it, but yeah, there you go, bud. I mean, that's how factories work, right? You forget half what you remember, and then, well, the other half you remember, and so it keeps going. The good keeps happening. yeah, we have this fixed. But yeah, the trains are updated. This system I have in here is actually an older version of the train setup, but the newest blueprint is about a week or two old, and I've got another video coming on that as well, just to fully seal that off, because yeah, now the unloading and the loading stations are using radars to communicate with each other, and that gives you a really tight turnaround so that you don't get this happening where you have like 3 trains of stone. In the new one, you'll pretty much you won't have any items waiting in the parking station, pretty much. Sometimes, like, this isn't too bad, and in my base, like, this is actually totally fine. But as you expand to a mega base, you need to kind of have a bit of tighter control on this stuff. Like, you don't want to have 2 trains here with the same thing. So in the new blueprint, it's much tighter. With the fluid tank one, yeah, I think they chatted to me too, and like they just haven't gotten back to me. I was like, hey, like I'm happy to help out, because yeah, maybe it's more recent. Let me even check the Discord right now. Oh, okay, hey. I'm just gonna reply and say, because yeah, I definitely didn't notice that since my vacation. So thanks, Exo. That's great. Appreciate it. But yeah, the train system is better than it is here, and it's working here, but it's better. We just got a tighter grip on the trains coming in, so we don't have very much load. There is the odd chance that you can get 1 train in the loading station, and there's even a chance of more trains there, but it really, with the new system, is much tighter. So anyways, yeah, thanks guys for tuning in on this Monday evening, and let's get to glebinating. How many of these? Yeah, we got lots here going on, and this is, how do we have a limit on this? We have a limit based on, well, do we even have a limit on it, actually? I've been trying to get working where a train is going to load and unloading minus from the radar count, so maybe take the same request. So multiple take the same request. I've been trying to get working where a train is going to load and loading minus from the radar count, so maybe take the same request. I don't understand totally. We could jump into my train game here for a second if you guys are down for that. The test place new trains from a week ago. Oh, I'd have to sync mods and come back. So I don't know if you guys want to look at trains, like, let me know. I'll definitely do it. Because I love trains, but I'd have to just sync the mods and load, which will take less than a minute, take 20 seconds or something. But if you guys want to gleba, like, we can gleba, but if you guys want to do some trains, like, I'm all trains, choo if you know what I'm saying. So great. So I think these are all just humming away. Trains are awesome. Okay, you got me. I mean, trains are definitely less goobery than Gleba, am I right? So let me just do the be right back to, because I'm gonna have to close Factorio is gonna have to close. Yeah, Master Man. I'm definitely interested in looking at your super simple train depot solution. I love when things are simple, so if there is a simpler solution that can do the same, then that would actually be really cool. So this, now there is 1 train here of the green stuff, but he's leaving like right away. Because the only time, okay, can I post? do you have Discord, Mr. Man, or because I don't think you can post a link here, and if you can, I won't really get it because I'm not gonna open it right now during the stream. Or maybe I could actually, like, I'd be happy to take a peek at it right now too, and we could look at it together. Like, that'd be cool. But can you post it here? I mean, you could try, but if you can post it in the Discord, then that would probably be the best place to do that. So yeah, what is new is, let's see if I don't have anything set up here, but we can easily do this where we have a loading station and we just say, I don't know, ice, because whatever. And then we get an unloading station, unloading fluid, unloading station. And then we also put that connected and set that up as ice as well. With 4, and there we go. And then we just connect that to power so it's not so annoying. And yeah, so now what we have, I cleaned this up a little bit by doing some calculations inside of the constant combinator. And then I also, so now, let's see. So now the L, yo, default Denny's. Hi and hello. Welcome to Monday evening with the jar. We're taking a quick look at trains before we get back to Gleba. We're looking at the newest train system. I'm gonna post a video on it shortly, probably this week. Should be this week. It will be this week. Am I right? I hope so. But yeah, so now some of the calculations are done in the constant combinator, which was great because that saved some room here. So now it goes from calculating the L, which is the limit of the trains, and this is the same here. These two they're always the same. They're just telling the station to limit the amount of trains available based on whether it's the calculated limit or whether it's the limit determined by the user in parameterization. So then from there, we have, let's see, the arithmetic combinator that's determining the priority. And this is an unloading station, so it doesn't need to add anything to it. It's just a 0 to 100%. And I was also able, that was kind of where I shortened it a little bit, which was really, really nice. Used some little bit of math wizardry. Default Denny's. If you're using my train system, yeah, like this is actually what identified that shouldn't necessarily be happening, but it is happening, and that's why I updated the blueprints. So it kind of sucks that you, like, to use the new blueprints, you probably have to like go and just, the easiest way would probably just to be and go and delete the train stops and then replace them. But the new system doesn't allow for that, like, at all. Like, as you can see here, there's one here. Oh, and he just left immediately. There is the odd chance that you can get a train here, but that's if they're full. Some stations are flickering. Yeah, I would say just use the newest system now, because it I don't know about flickering, but when before I also had it that if they're waiting here with a full cargo, they have a wait condition here of 30 seconds, or their station is not full, and now it's just their station is not full. So that also kind of fixed it. So yeah, but the thing is, as I was explaining now, is that it will actually take the limit, the calculated limit of the unloading station, and multiply by -1 and output it as a symbol of whatever item that is. And then it's going to transmit. It's also going to read the train count, which is super handy. I didn't really realize that as a train was like set to go to the station, it's kind of like telepathy. Like the station can know that and send a signal out of itself based on the fact that there's a train on the way, which is super cool, right? So what happens then is that because this can take 4 trains worth of supplies, being that like calculates it all and says, okay, you have 16 chests here, so that means you can fit 38,000 and change supplies, and your trains are 4 cargo wagons, so that's 8,000 per cargo wagon, so you have room for up to 4 trains to come and dump their supplies here. So that's where it's saying then, okay, the 4, which we calculate using the combiner here, the arithmetic one over here, we pass that along through there, and we pass that to this arithmetic combinator, multiplied by -1. That means now we have a 4 in the negative, 4 requests of trains for ice. And I just realized that actually this would probably break if you're using different size trains for the same thing, which I would probably not do. Like, don't have a 4 train. It's okay if you have 2 of the same station, unload or load. Yes, but as I was just discovering here, like for example here, I've got iron ore loading, and I've got I think I had 2 of these stations, one there and one here. No, it's over here. 2 uranium ore loading stations, and then I have 1 unloader, but you can have as many as you want. But what I just realized here is what you don't want to have is, in the new system especially, is you don't want to have like a 1 uranium train. You don't want to have a 1 uranium ore wagon, and then like a 4 uranium ore wagon. In this new system, you definitely don't want to do that because it'll break, which is kind of unfortunate. I just realized, so I'm like, oh no, there's like some lack of dynamism. Yeah, I use 4 trains for everything, and like that's a really good way. That's what I do, except for like sulfuric acid, I'll use like a 1 train, and for even coal, I'll use a 1 train. So that's something to consider though. Like, yeah, here's an example of a 1 train coal just in this test scenario. Yeah, so that's an example of stuff like, just don't mix the trains and you'll be fine. But then what it does is it reads the signal and also sends that as a positive signal. So as soon as a train sees that this is open, this loading station now then says only if it's less than 0 will it be enabled at all. And so because there's 4 trains worth of supplies that you can come and pick up, then as soon as that happens, this station opens, and this station, the loading station, also reads its trains count and sends that signal as the supply signal to the network, the green wire through the radars. And so what that does is it then offsets one of the -4. So if it was -4 here, now 1 train gets assigned to this station. Now it's -4 plus 1, so it's only -3. And so then you can only assign a certain amount of trains. You can technically only assign the amount of trains to the loading stations as there would be available to unload in the unloading stations. And so then that keeps a real tight handle on things. So it's like, then when everything gets full, the trains just chill. Nobody comes here with a bunch of supplies. There is one little gap where if you have, say, -1, say you could fit 1 train here in the unloading station, then you have a train going to the loading station, it's going to send a +1. Then it starts to go to the unloading station and it has a +1. That means it'll be fine. But if it already has a train there at the unloading station, it can't go to the unloading station. Why does negative work better? That's a good question. The reason why is because the read train count you cannot send as a negative signal without using an arithmetic combinator to take the signal and then multiply it by -1. A 141 and a 111 bidirectional heading to lonely mining outposts and wall defense, plus 1-2 single direction inside the base proper. It's a glorious mess. Yeah. But yeah, Mr. Man, if you can show me that somehow, I'd love to see it. I'm always looking for like more ideas, and there might be something I can incorporate into my design, make it smarter and faster and smaller. But yeah, Jason, that's why negatives work better, and why they actually had to be negative is because the train count being read as this signal just sends a +1 by like however many trains are on the way. It sends it as a positive signal. So I didn't want to add another arithmetic combinator to multiply that signal just by -1. So I was like, all right. And like I could potentially have connected it to this one, but I don't have that one multiplying by -1 here. So then here I would have to have another combinator to do the same thing, which I was just like, you know what? Plus also this, so if a train shows up here with the supplies, say it's got friggin' a train full of supplies, so it's 8,000 of the ice, for example, then I still have that being read train contents and being sent to the green wire. And so if you have a train show up here with 8,000 ice, then it will absolutely shut off all of the train stations, because you know, -1, -4, whatever, but now you've got 8,000, so it's like 7,996, right? And that can happen because, like I was saying, if a train comes and picks up here and doesn't have a place to park at the so it goes and picks up at the loading station, but the unloading station can receive that amount of supplies, but it hasn't enough room to park. There's not room to park there, but it can receive the supplies. Then the train from here will say, okay, I'm full, I can unload there, but I don't have parking to go park there. So what does it do? It goes and parks here. But then on the way, because that train is no longer assigned to the unloading station, then a different train can get assigned to the loading station because of the lack of the negative value from the read train count as the train full of supplies goes to the station. There's a little tiny gap there where it's like, does that make sense? Like, it's pretty convoluted, but it's like, yeah, as the train that filled itself full of supplies can't go to the unloading station, it will go to here, and in that time there's a gap and another train can assign itself to the loading station, and then you'll have a train that parks here with supplies, and then that will be read the train contents and that will deactivate it. Then the other one that already assigned itself will go load, and then it will come park here, and the other one will go and unload. And so you can end up with like one train full of supplies here. And to get really nitty gritty on it, like I did try both using the calculated L, which is the amount of space, amount of trains that you could unload here if you look at the empty space in the barrel, in the chests. But I think it is okay if it is one train with resources standby. Yes, yeah. And it's actually beneficial, right? So like I was saying, like I tried both methods. I tried taking this times -1 and outputting that value based on the amount of parking space that you have at your unloading station, which is basically just the input of these two or the output of these two, right? Yeah, and that's why, Denny's, that's why you need the new system, because the new system doesn't allow that. spamming refuels. Yeah, I think and like depending on how old the version is, if it does, your version, Denny's, does it have radars at all? Because I think there was a version like that I first released that didn't have a radar on either station, and then I had a radar on the loading station, and that would take a signal from here and disable the trains, and then I added the radars on both unloading and loading. Yeah, grab the new blueprint and try that. Might be a little bit of a pain in the butt to replace them all, but you can definitely replace them all, and it should work. Kind of a pain in the butt. Wish it was perfect from the start, and even in my own game save, it's not perfect. Yeah, I think I made like a 1.2 now, so because like it's when I added that other radar, yeah, the newest blueprint is definitely there on both the videos. So, but yeah, so now it's much tighter, and I tried opening the loading station based on the number of the calculated value of L and the actual parking limit L. Yeah, thanks, Danny, appreciate it. But when I used the parking limit, it seemed like it was just too tight. So you'd end up waiting for a train you'd end up waiting for a train to go like as soon as there was room to unload, then you'd have to wait for the train to go load and then go to unload, which just was just a pain in the butt. So I made it the calculated limit. So if it actually could receive more than the parking limit, then it can receive more than parking limit, and you can load more than the parking limit of the unloading station, so that you can basically start loading. You can basically start loading before the unloading station can receive it in terms of parking, not in terms of unloading space, but in terms of parking, and that helps it stay. Like full. And I also realized that you kind of need this sort of setup with at least some parking in order to like if you're unloading, especially if you're unloading on stacked turbo belts, like this is not gonna work. Like there's probably already a train on the way. Actually no, but this is gonna run out of ore before another train arrives, probably just before. Oh yeah. Yeah, thanks, Danny. That's I appreciate it, because now it should have a train on the way, I guess. Actually still no, which is kind of surprising to me, actually, a little bit. Limit is 1. There we go. Now there's a train. So, and that's why you kind of need parking on your main things. Like if you want to unload a lot of little supplies, especially if there's stacks of 100 instead of stacks of 50, then it's fine to not have parking, I think. But if you're doing something like a smelting column and you want to keep 4 belts fully stacked, fully full if they're turbo belts, you definitely need to have some parking. And then like this, you don't have as many problems. In fact, it can only fit 1 train right now, I think. So yeah, this train limit is 2. So actually we have 1 coming right in just right now to kind of slip in just as needed to keep this sort of flow going. So with parking, you can have a belt say fully saturated. Oh, this is interesting. I didn't take that out. Anyways, this is a test world. So yeah, so I don't know. I hope that was kind of interesting. Are stacking inserters viable for unloading stations? To be honest, I haven't even gotten to stack inserters I'm supposed to be glebbing right now in my main save, but I think so. I think they are actually the end game solution, right? Are they not? I don't know. Maybe I'll just leave that in there just for whatever's sake. Right, like, so here we have one coal. Boom, it's gone. Because technically it can't really go to the parking station unless there's space for it in the unloading station. It's just waiting for a parking spot, but you can get one that's like, yeah, a little bit, I don't know. This is the unloading station, or no, that's the loading station. Oh, there's 2 coal loading stations and 1 coal unloading station right here. Yeah, so anyways, I don't know. Is there any other questions on the system, or should I switch over to Glebenstein? Yeah, they do allow you to put more stuff on the belt. So, like, I think if you wanted to have a 4-lane, fully saturated turbo belt, stacked belt, like fully stacked, fully saturated 4-laners, you'd have to unload on both sides and have parking. And that's why I kind of prepared this train station that's a little bit off. Like, it's not, I actually redid this one. So I was like, oh, thanks for training. You're thanks, Kelly. Yeah, you guys are awesome, man. Like, this is you guys keep this party going, right? Like, this is, yeah, I can't believe how much like amazing community love there is in Factorio, and how me just making a train video after working on it for like 25 hours like just kind of skyrocketed me into being an internet micro celebrity, brain in a jar. Like, I don't know, it's kind of mind-blowing. Like, beep boop bop. I mean, I only have 275 subscribers, but like very micro, not very celebrity, but you know, at least people somehow in Factorio know like my system. I don't know. I think it's pretty good. But yeah, I did design this being a little bit off center, so actually these 4 belts are right down the center, but then you could like unload on both sides, and then you could combine them and have 4 full belts being stacked and unloaded on both sides, and then combine into 4 belts. That would probably be the best way. Oh yeah. I mean, I'd be down for that, Denny. Like, I'd take a peek at it for sure. And you probably have to send out through Discord would be the best way. Oh, that's interesting, Mr. Man. Yeah, like, I should definitely get into KSP as well. I have the first KSP and I played quite a bit of it. That's Kerbal Space Program, for those who may not know. But the Kerbal Space Program 2, like, I think it was very poorly received when it came out, and I was kind of sad that it was early access, but I think KSP was early access. So I don't have KSP 2 yet, but that's probably a game that I could really enjoy, that I could really get into. Because yeah, the first one was really great. Even the first one I could probably play and try to play through fully, because I haven't actually played through it fully. So KSP 2 is dead. Is it like actually, like, did they not develop it anymore, or is it just like we do not speak of the second KSP? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm learning, man. I didn't even know that. So maybe just playing the first one would be something kind of fun. Like, yeah, because I mean, I've never really fully gotten through it, and yeah, I was pretty sad about the studio was laid off. Oh man, that's no bueno. I definitely oh, it was, yeah, I don't know. I was very hopeful for that, for the second one, but you know, yeah, okay, yeah, I feel you on that, Exo Green. I mean, I don't really know, and I'm kind of like a vanilla. Have you tried Shapes 2? I tried the demo, and I watched Nilaus play it, and it looks like it would be fun. It would definitely be up my alley, because yeah, this is the kind of game that I like to play. Speaking of, I should let's load up the well, we can just switch to Mike intermission here. Oh, oops, my name is not Mike, it's Jarbrain, right? Now you know a secret of this jar world. So you shapes 2, good, yes, win, all right, woohoo, we got it. Yeah, okay, so no Mike, new Mike, no mods, no Mike, new mods, one or the other. So yeah, I could see myself playing shapes 2 as well. Like that would definitely be a lot of fun. Probably kind of broken though, my whole like, mind on it, because I watch Nilos. So I don't know. So yeah, anyways, what's limiting my set requests? I don't think anything's limiting this actually. Ah, it's being limited by here, right? Ah, brilliant. Okay. So we have exactly 100, so we're not putting any eggs into here. So that is limited. That was my only concern. It is pretty cool that... oh, yeah. Oh, geez. Frick. You got me. You got me, EXO. So, yeah. So always glad to have help. Somebody's got my back. It's a nice feeling. So we have this, we're back in Gleba, and we've got this limited by the logistics connection, which is sometimes what I do. Oh geez, oh geez, oh geez. Yeah, because the logistics connection is kind of more of the end game scenario, but anyways, so we're not putting any eggs in there that are just going to sit there and spoil. It's nice that we can just burn. Like, I love this heating tower because you can just endlessly burn garbage. Like, it's brilliant. I don't have to worry about the temperature. I don't have to like consider, yeah, it just endlessly burn garbage. So I think we really got a good setup here with this. Now I have to consider, like, how do we make rockets? Ooh, carbon fiber. Okay, so that's something that I also need. I need Yamako mash and carbon, and we can make carbon from spoilage. Okay, so you should also be like, what, taking out spoilage? Like, maybe I should just I probably gotta do something with that at some point. Yeah, that's an interesting thing here. I should have, I wonder if I can just say spoilage. And then cut that and just put it right here. Right? And then vertically flip it and put it right. Well, that one's already taken care of. So I think that's all I really need to do, except I will use filters just in case. Shouldn't need it because we've already filtered it. But there we go. So that'll kind of help push that stuff through. Great. Okay, so we need to consider how we're gonna make rockets. Rocket turrets. Oh, boom! Say the magic word, am I right? We've already researched. I don't know why did we actually just research? I don't know. I don't think we did. Tree seeds finished. Oh yeah, we already fish breeding. That's hilarious. I kind of want to get it just because, like, we gotta have it at some point. So tool belt equipment. That's a thing that you, right? Increases inventory size. Cool. We also need captivity, so let's get that. We definitely need stack inserter, so let's get that. And I like to have the special reprocessing and Spidertron. And steel productivity can wait. All of those productivities can wait. But yeah, I think for now we get that. And cool. Okay, so rocket turrets. They do use carbon fiber. I knew they would. I knew they would. Because I looked at it before. So we basically have everything here except rocket launchers, which are pretty easy to use to build as well. You can just stamp down our build everything machine and get that. Should be no problemo. No gears. Okay, so that's not a problem either. We can just stamp this down and get some gears. Wait. It looks like we might need some more power at some point here, so not an issue, I think. Alright, Denny's, yeah, cool. Well, love to stay for the Gleba adventure, but I have to go because I work tomorrow. Yeah, Denny, I think you mentioned the thing, so if you I would definitely take a peek at your mess. Oh, Blasty. Just reading some Discord here. Blasty has a request of a simple train depot. Secret sauce use of a decoy station forever locked behind a red signal. Oh, okay, interesting. We could take a look at that actually. Oh yeah, Blasty is Mr. Man on YouTube. Cool, cool, cool. And as a bonus, here's an example of a wall resupply station that sets the train limit to 1 whenever supplies run low. That's kind of cool. I've been thinking about remaking my delivery train setup where I can just like oh, I'm curious. I am absolutely curious. I think we go save and actually load up the, hold on, see if I can push the right button. Yeah, I did. Okay, just green. Remind me when I'm like back in the game. But hold on, I'm gonna load up my train test place, and I'm going to. Okay, No, not be right back or even the end. Okay, I'm back. I'll learn my hotkey buttons. That was weird. At some point. So let me pull up the Factorio bin. Oh, I think I was supposed to do this after or before, something like this. I was supposed to stay like this for a minute. Not that it really matters, but you know, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Import string import. Okay. I think I have. So this is okay. Back in it. We're not. Okay. So is this it? It's just the train depot? This is interesting. Okay, we got the infinity chests. Right? Okay. Oh, okay. Dot signal. So you're just closing that. This is, you know what, I have to say, I think this is kind of brilliant. So you could easily use right, so okay, so okay, so what happens is the unloads turn off, or they have a train limit, right? So like the actual unloads have a train limit of just 1, which would just be your parking, right? Like you're not setting the limit based on how full the boxes are. You're just saying, okay, and that could also function with this. Like you could set the limit as whatever the boxes are. You could set the limit as the parking, whatever. You could do that, and then Do you really need 3? Correct. The real station are limited. The decoy station is unlimited and also unreachable. Right. So do you really need 3 here? Or like, is it just because? Like just to say, like, you probably only need 1, right? Like the 3 is just there because 3 is better than 1, right? I mean, like, obviously 3 is better than 1, but it doesn't need to be there. But then, or does it? Yeah, then each signal adds, okay, so each signal adds a 1000 tile pathing penalty. So how do you know about the pathing penalties? Is that just from the forums only, or is that in the wikis as well? Because I heard somebody else talking about pathing penalties before, and I was like, oh, I've never heard of that before. Which was part of why, like, the priorities on my system was kind of used so that it doesn't... It's on the wiki. Okay, I'll have to read into that a bit more, which means if you have a huge base, the depot will be the last priority. And the... right, so the depot should always be the last priority, right? Like, it should... If it doesn't... But you could potentially just have this with the priority lower, right? Like, you could just put the priority of this as 1, and then that way any of these with a regular priority of 50, or even using calculated priorities, like you could calculate that the most empty one is the highest priority and the least empty one is the lowest priority, as long as it's greater than 1, even if it's totally, well, even if it's totally full, it's greater than 1, and then this just has a priority of, like, you know, of 1, of like actually 1. Then you probably wouldn't need these. Right, okay, yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's what I was just thinking too. It's like you actually just need 1. Just to tell it, like, you can't actually go here. And then, but then would it work with like different types of items? I think so, because you could just have an interrupt that as soon as you pick something up, you can go to that, you try to go to that unload station. But I guess the thing is that it doesn't communicate with the loading station to open or close the loading station based on the emptiness of the unloading stations, right? So, like, Mr. Man, do you have this being set up in like a real world example? Like, is it actually being used in a factory with like multiple different types of items being picked up, and also different sized trains? Let me see if I can grab the other blueprint here. Oh, cool. Yeah, so this is something that I saw too, and I was like, I made a the loading. Okay, sorry, hold on. That would work. The loading station can have a parking decoy too, and then use a simple circuit at the loading station to set train limit locally. The loading station train limit locally. A simple circuit at the loading station to set the limit locally. The limit locally. Yeah, like maybe I'm missing something, but I don't see how it could set the limit of the loading station based on the trains and their loading and their yeah, like there's still always has to be a communication from the unloading stations to the loading station. Because you like that's the ideal is to say, hey, look, don't load unless there's space to unload it. Right? Because otherwise you can just stack. Like, what am I missing? I'm missing something, aren't I? We can get to this in a second, but I don't know. There's something brilliant about this. I really like it. Yeah, but then what if you have 10 trains and they all load iron ore and then you can't get copper ore? Which could definitely happen, especially if your production of iron ore is higher. If your production of iron ore is much higher than your copper, then you'll end up clogging your system with tons of iron ore. And that's why I made this. Oh, did I not save it with that? I guess I didn't, but that's why I made that, like, in the loading station. I put that, what I called the graph in the first video. Let's just say, I don't know, green shinies, because you're never going to load that. And then of course we need power here. This one here, the 100 divided by L, divide 100 by the calculated limit to give us an augmentation to P. This helps balance the station, giving a high priority to stations with one load available, then lowers the priority as it gets to 2 to 3 loads available, 20 to 30% full, but then again is very high priority as it reaches 100% full storage. And I used like a graph to figure that, to like, I graphed it, and I actually think I have that still. Of course I do, because it was, yeah, here's the graph. And like, I don't know, something about this was just, I thought was just pure brilliance, because it's like, here at the 1 value, it's 100%, or in this case 5, that's the arbitrary value that I chose. So at 10% full, you have the maximum priority, but then as you get to 2, it's much lower, and then 3 is basically the lowest, or the value of priority, and then it starts to incline at somewhat of a linear fashion from 5, 6, 7 all the way to 10 or 100%. And then 100% full is the same as if it has 10% full, or one load, essentially. So that to me was like, that was like a stroke of pure genius. I was like, man, because then if you have a copper, maybe you only have one copper field still mining, and you need that. Well, with my system, you'll close, like you have to close maybe you're full on iron ore, you just don't need any more. And if you keep picking it up, then all your trains are gonna be busy just chilling with full of load. And then you're like hurting for copper, and you're like, oh man, like I need to set up more copper ore, but like, and that's your mission. You're like, I'm on a mission right now to go and find more copper ore patches, but you still only have like 1 or 2 that are going slowly. So that's where the graph comes in, and it's like, hey, go to the one that's the lowest, but also go to the one that's the fullest. Like, those are both really important, because you want to keep mining. So you know what I mean? Like, even if you have one full copper patch that's like just given her, well, that's exactly, but like, I get it, but like, that's also what I just want to have, a system that's very dynamic. And this is really cool, but like, and I could potentially see this being as an augmentation to what I did, but it's a, yeah, like this is a very creative solution and very intelligent, man. Like this is actually really genius as well. Like this is unlike anything I've really seen before. Like actually haven't seen anything like this at all. And you've also presented it in a very nice little package here that just kind of completely gets the idea across. So, you know, definite brownie points for you. Like this is brilliant. And I'd like to look at this a little bit more actually. I want to build, like I already had in fact in the first Factorio, like I have a light oil. Okay, cool. I have a delivery train system where you just set your order in a constant combinator, and then the train will fill itself full of that. It'll request it and fill itself full of that. And then if there's a certain threshold of emptiness on the receiving side, it will then trigger the train to come and unload and fill up the receiving side. And that was pretty cool, but I'd like to redo that now where I have like a dynamic delivery system, and this kind of looks something like it. So let's kind of take a peek at what exactly this is. And the thing is, I wanted to, I don't know why, but I guess I just wanted to not use like these. This is the simple solution and probably the best solution, to just like tell the train itself like what to put in there and don't put anything else. But I did that somehow. I figured it out without even actually knowing that you could do that. But yeah, let's see what this does. Like, so this is reading its contents and it's sending it to, I'm guessing this is the request, right? And then it's sending this and saying everything -1. Okay, that's pretty standard. And then this is saying set filters, right? Okay, so anything above 1, so it'll never grab anything that shouldn't. And then it's also reading that into here, which is saying anything divided by -2. So it's basically saying, I'm guessing if it's half full, right? Because you're adding the order divided by 2 to the contents of the chest. So you're saying, yeah, if anything is less than 0, so if any one item that you're requesting is less than 50%, then you're saying give me an L value of 1, which means set the limit to 1. So yeah, that's brilliant. I think this is going to be doing the exact same thing, yeah, just with barrel unloading, which is also pretty great. It's a smart and interesting way to manage fluids. Hysteresis by only calling when the order is half full. Right. I don't know what hysteresis means. I guess like hiss is like low, and hysteresis. I don't know, actually. That's a new word. I like you, Mr. Man. You're my type of dude, or dudette, or whatever in between. Like, you know. You're my type of Factorio. You're my type of engineer, my guy. So, oh, and then this one, it's when a machine turns on and off rapidly. Right, okay. Yeah, so it's, which makes sense. Like, that's what I was thinking, right? It's kind of like the S and R latch is used for. Like, you don't want to turn something on and then immediately have it turn itself off because it, like, fills itself or whatever. Yeah, so this is just saying, like, request only, and I did that with mine where I said, with my series where I have the ammo and I'm like, hey, just a top station is simplest I could think to make. Okay, yeah, where it's just like you're just straight up filtering without doing anything, and then you're saying this one's robots, which makes sense. And then here you're just saying if it's less, yeah, any of these are less than that, yeah. And that's cool. Like, honestly, I love the dedication to simplicity, because like something like this is like this is just dead simple, and there's just something brilliant about having a system that just works and is also simple. However, I guess I'm a little bit different in that I'm just like, I like to try to balance the simplicity with the complexity to make something that's dynamic and functional while trying not to make it overly complex. But I probably don't, you know, I probably like look at this. Like this is this, I don't know. But that's in this, for example, I was like, okay, I've got this is my limit of space. I'm not going to build, I don't want to build anything more than these 5 combinators, and that is my limit. And then it's like, okay, but I also wanted to set the priority. Yeah, so anyways, it's just kind of like there's a balance in beauty and simplicity. And yeah, I think overall, like, that's why I like this design here in the middle and also the bottom, because it gets you that little bit more of like dynamic, where you can just set the, you know, like that's a feature that I would want to have, you know what I mean? It's like, I love the simplicity of this one, but the feature that I want to have is to just be able to set the order in one constant combinator. Like that would be like the bare minimum for me of functionality. Whereas this, like if you want to change your order, you have to go in here, and yeah, like that's not too hard, but you know what I mean? Like there's just some slight benefit to me that makes the slight added complexity here a thing of beauty. A thing of beauty for sure. So anyways, yeah, this has been really cool, Mr. Man. I really appreciate your example here. I really like your delivery chain setup. Great presentation in the blueprints, and yeah, just super amazing overall. Really digging it. Oh yeah, Jose, like that kind of makes sense too. I could see that. Sometimes depends how you, like, depends on your needs for your request. Because yeah, like in these stations, they use a negative number to make the request as well. In my new stations, the new jar train system, the newest, and it uses negative numbers to make the request via this one. And that actually is like almost important for me. But then on my Space Age asteroid reprocessing, which we can't really build here, but with this one, we need the value of requested asteroid bits to be positive in order for the filtering. So it really depends on the system. I feel like the delivery system could probably be both, like either negative or positive, but right, because you could divide it by 2, and then you could just add so you still, yeah, so then it's like, instead of using this arithmetic combinator, you could just have the requested values be negative, and you could get rid of that one arithmetic combinator, I think, in this one. And then if anything was greater than 1 or greater than 0, and this would be divided by just 2, and I think it would work just the same. Yep. Yeah, exactly. And like, that's cool too. And that's one of the things that I love about like trying to refine stuff to make it just that much simpler. But then you could argue, well, then you have to remember to put a negative number in your request, and like something just kind of feels, yeah, to set this filter you need a positive value. That's right. Right, right. Yeah, so there you go. Like that is one limit on it. And you could argue, yeah, and that like that's a good point. And to me, like there's something about that that actually kind of makes sense and makes me happy, because you like intuitively just want to type in a positive value for your order. Like you don't want to type in, you don't want to have to like remember to always like type negative value there, right? It's just there's something just intuitively better about that, I think. It stops the user from having to think when they're using it. So there's something about that that just kind of like, by the inserter forcing this arithmetic combinator into play, it just makes it makes it like a requirement that you have positive values here, which then just, I don't know, yeah, like I said, just there's something about that that just makes it better. So anyways, shall we leave this world and get back to Gleba and build some rocket turrets? I think so. We'll leave this here. I should save this over my other one and get into the Gleba save. Gleba, Glebenstein. I don't know why, but like I don't know. That's just okay. Alrighty. Welcome back to Gleba, I say. I think I was about to make some power, just like one. This is my favorite part about the power. It's just boom. There we go. It's done. I think I don't have this one. Yeah, it's saying okay. Well, maybe not boom. It's done. Like, all right. Yeah, so I can make coal on this planet if I want. Oh, cool. I can now breed fish. I need one heating tower. But yeah, super tileable. It doesn't, the water itself doesn't transfer up, but it does transfer left to right just seamlessly, so that's kind of cool. And then now we have like wicked power. No problems at all. But we could probably just keep going left to right on that for now, at least. Anyways, easy enough to make water go. Okay, turrets. Rocket turrets. So I guess we need carbon fiber. That's the thing we need. How do we make carbon fiber? It's made in the biochamber from Yamako mash and carbon. So we need to get a carbon process going on here where, like, I guess, do we have the option of making it from sulfuric acid on this? Because sulfuric acid comes from what? Sulfur, right? Sulfur and iron plates. But we have the option of making it from spoilage. Which means if we wanted to make it this route, we'd have to use sulfur. Oh, we would need carbon. Yeah, so we actually need carbon to make coal. So we can't really use coal to make carbon. So we really just have to make it from spoilage. I'm surprised it's made in a biochamber though, and not a heating tower. Like, you'd think it would be made in a heating tower, but I don't know. I googled juxtaposition and this steam popped up. Oh, this stream juxtaposition. That's so strange. This stream popped up, I guess, right? I don't know, maybe I said juxtaposition too many times or something. I guess we should also limit this the way we have limited like everything else. I think I tried to do that and I just couldn't. Yeah. But doesn't matter. What we really want to do is take a look at making carbon from spoilage and see like how much does this takes one spoilage. So yeah, this would make 1 carbon per second, which I kind of like. Maybe we can do something like this. I don't know. And fortunately, it doesn't need Oh, it does need nutrients. Dang it! Why does everything need nutrients? Why do you need nutrients to turn... Oh, yeah. Gleba is pretty not chill, I guess. I don't know. We got a pretty chill going on here. So far, so good. I mean, the aliens are not coming in major hordes or anything like that. It might come from over there yet, but like we've got a really nice flow to everything, I think. It seems to be working pretty seamlessly. So, I don't know. So far, so good. Am I right? How much... Oh, yeah. I don't blame you on that. Dang, yo. How much spoilage do we have? 1,000. I think we could grow that pretty quick. I don't think we need to grow it. But what we do need is we need... Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, this is still working on imported processing units. We got our foundries building low density structure. Probably need another copper builder. There's something not working about this. Seems to me that it's working. Oh yeah, it's going here. Yeah, I think it's all good. But yeah, I guess some of it's not working because it doesn't have copper bacteria. Why doesn't this one have copper bacteria in? Oh. No, it should be getting it here. Oh, I guess... Wait. This one's supposed to say when copper bacteria is equal to 0, right? Maybe I should take copper bacteria off the belt as well. Only when it's more than half full. That might make sense actually, but let's see. Like this one is rightfully not working. But this one's missing copper bacteria and it's got copper bacteria chilling in it. So actually I think that's probably why. Like this one's, no, it says item ingredient, but yeah, I think we should take copper off. Like not just... Huh, that's a really interesting problem to solve. It's like we have too much bacteria, and if we put it in a chest somewhere, then we can allow it to spoil more quickly. Right? Instead of it just being on the belt. But it seems like this is saying like it's an item ingredients shortage because it can't empty, therefore it's not like nothing's being put in. Because I guess I'm saying as long as it's... What if I just do this? How does this work then? Does it just keep stacking up here? To there, right? And then it says output full. But like, is that something we want? Because why did I even have this disabling... So only if there's no bacteria. I don't know. I guess I'm tweaking something I probably don't need to tweak. But I think that should help a little bit just because it'll fill these fuller and then some of them will actually spoil while they're just waiting for the belt. But I think in some way it should, I should probably be taking some of the actual bacteria off the belt. I can't see an obvious way to do that right now because there's just not really any room. to do that, so that kind of just makes me not want to do it at all. Or I could like make this belt go like squiggle that way, and then I could probably put a chest there with it. But I should probably just leave that alone. And then maybe also look at this and say, well, thanks, Melly. Hello to you too. Aww. All right. So let's actually get some turret production going on. We are gonna need more of the main ingredients to everything here too. So yeah, let's try disabling this. I don't know if there is really a reason for that actually to have been there. It might be considered a mistake to have that in disabling, because like, or this one disabling, like it should just be filtering, but then yeah, because like that shouldn't be an issue. This one's getting it from a request, isn't it? It's getting jelly from request, and it's requesting jelly only under certain circumstance where yeah, if there's no ore and there's no bacteria, then give a green signal, and that green signal is gonna enable this request for some jelly. So I don't think there really was any reason to have this in disabling. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Okay, so anyways, I guess if this needs nutrients, then we basically just got to do it just like we do everything else around here. Oops. Oops twice. Oopsie doops. And we can just design it like this, and then we can just say out. Of course, we probably want a beacon just like everything else. And of course, I'm trying to stay consistent with my design, meaning it's, yeah, in the right spot. Shifted to the right by 1. Okay, and then here, this is just going to be spoilage, which we can just, we'll push the spoilage out, so we'll have spoilage and nutrients on one side, on one belt. And then we'll just get the carbon out on another belt. And then we'll say spoilage can stay on the outside. Okay, and then we need a nutrient requester, which we can do something to the effect of like, could we do it something like this? Right hand, that won't quite work. All right. Farewell, Kate, and good evening. Enjoy your chemistry exam. I think it might serve you in the Gleba adventure. Because, you know, Gleba chemistry. Get it? All right. Yeah, there we go. So that'll actually work. And then we can just say, I was really thinking about this, and I was like, man, this little setup with the arithmetic and the constant combinator is overly complicated. Like, it could just be directly connected to the belt and only enabling when the amount on the belt is less than the desired amount. So, I don't know. But part of me is like, you can't change it now. You can't change your design. You can't change the design now. So, let's just copy it. And we'll just keep going with what's been working. Am I right? And that should actually set us up. Except I need to copy and paste that, which I will do in a moment. But that's it actually, right? Well, except for the spoilage. So we need to request spoilage onto the belt at the same time as... Actually, no, we don't need to clean the spoilage. But we basically just need the same thing here, kind of on the other side, right? Because we just want to say, look, if there's less than a certain amount of spoilage, then put spoilage. Mid-design build changes are fine, and I often demanded by the spaghetti gods, yeah. But in this case, I'm like, you know what? There is a flexibility in this, because you can just easily change, well, I guess you can easily change the amount in here. But I don't know, there's just a little bit more control in this that I like, and sometimes I kind of just... I'm a bit of a control freak, I guess. There is not a single space for lights in this design. That is compact as can be. It's actually pretty cool. But yeah, so what we need... This is unfortunately as compact as can be, which maybe is not the greatest. Like, maybe we could bring this over just by one. And then put that in the direct center. And that may solve some of our problems. And maybe even bring this over to here. Nah, I don't. Well, we'll see. We'll see. We may do that because this is actually our spoilage. So this one's easy to just say, hey, look, go over there. But we also kind of need this. But for spoilage, and we want to just, but we don't really, like, yeah, I mean, like we were saying, mid-design changes are not bad, right? And if I just straight up connect this to there and say none, and then control, not request none, and then enable disable and say, hey, look, if spoilage is less than, I don't know how much spoilage should be on the belt, 100? Then spoilage. Then give me all of the spoilage. If it's less than 200, no, if it's less, because this is gonna, right? I mean, we could just request spoilage and we could just disable the inserter itself based on spoilage. Because we always want spoilage in here. How much is in there right now? Is it not getting a signal? No, it's not. Okay. Okay, now it is. Yeah, so we actually want to lower this. And I think we actually do want to just do it based on this. So enable disable only when... Where's spoilage again? Where's spoilage? Where are you? Spoilage? Only when I don't see spoilage. What's going on? Okay, here we go. I'm just blind tonight. Only when spoilage is less than 150, then spoilage, right? And this you can just, oops, you can just request anytime. That's fine. Just keep 200 spoilage in there. Totally cool with that. And then you can just disable by controller behavior. So you just filled yourself right full, which is fine. Like at the beginning, that's also going to be fine. And then realistically, like if I just did this, wait. If I just did this, then like that just makes a better design.
right? Like that's just, oh, but then don't forget to do this, and don't do that. Don't do that, Mike. And then none, enable nutrients less than 75. Combinator with negative values plus read belt. Combinator with negative values plus read belt held contents goes to set filter on inserter that tosses it overboard. Oh yeah, yeah. Tossing stuff off the spaceship, right? Like, definitely. And then we can do that. We can trash on requested and request from buffer chests. So we should be getting, but before we do that, oh, I want to move this down. Sorry, robots. We want to move this down just a little bit. For absolutely no reason, but it's just spoilage, so whatever. Then a buffer chest here, and we say this, and then we can just connect this and say when carbon is less than, I don't know, 1,000? 1,000 seems, how much is, rocket capacity is 1,000, stack size is 50, let's say 2,000. All right, and then now we should see this starting to work, but we should also do this maybe, and that'll give us a limit, which then means we can probably bump up this speed. Oh, I don't want to do that much. Well, maybe we do this. How does that stay? Yeah, that's pretty good actually. I often thought it would be cool in factory games if visible mess, spillage, leaks, grease would build up around the machines over time. That would be cool actually. That would probably add a lot of cool. So yeah, this is going. That means 500. So this chest should be full, and in fact, we should do what we like to do over here and request. This is going to be 2,400 into here, and that way, this is our storage chest of carbon. And if there's not enough, we will build more. All right, so that should be actually good to go. That's, yeah, very, very simple design actually in the grand scheme of things here. And so I really like it. That's where we can move on now. Oh, you know what I probably have? More concrete. Yeah, that would be cool, but I think it would, farming similar does that with tractor getting dirty over time. That's cool. It probably adds... Why is this one already built? Or am I just... Yeah, I did use one too big. Not that it matters that much, but... actually, it does matter. It does matter. We can't do it sloppily. There we go. It's easy enough to fix. Let's see here. We can just bomb this crap out of the way. Yeah, so what were we saying? It probably would add unnecessary resource cost. But I don't know. I mean, if you had the right amount of computerage, then who cares? Is there something messed up about this one that it's not working? Oh no, it's just... temperature. Did I do this again? Yeah, I did. So I gotta fix that blueprint, which should be fairly easy. Just to then redo that right there. Take the tiles out, take the roboports out, and away we go. I think should be correct. Wait, like this. This is over by 1, which is okay. No, that's correct. That could also make sense. Like,
Somebody mentioned that to me in a comment. They're like, oh, actually, it might have been you, Mr. Man. I'm not sure because I think I think you definitely commented before and saying, hey, look, you could actually do it pretty simply just by doing this. And I was like, hey, I'd be actually curious to see that. So maybe it's cool, like, you know, if that was actually you before, because it seems like it was kind of the same design when I was reading it in the comments, and I couldn't quite totally wrap my head around it. I know you did definitely comment on it, though. You definitely did. But I think somebody else did in maybe what I might have perceived as a slightly more negative way, where they're just like, oh, this is too complicated, and like, you could just do it like this. And I was like, well, yeah, but I'm not, and they were concerned about UPS or UBS, I don't know, FPS, right? Like, and I was like, well, I don't know. I'm fortunate enough to not care about that because I've never had a problem, even in like a 10,000 signs per minute base. It's always been 60, like it's always just been given her. So fortunate enough in that matter, because it's like, but that's something I was gonna say in my video. It's like, hey, if you're running on a potato or you're running on like a lower computer, and UPS is an issue for you, then you definitely don't want to be using my train setup. Like, you just steer away from it, because otherwise you might end up having problems later, or you'll have to change it later game, and like you don't want to need to change it later game. So everyone's got different design challenges. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. They've got different criteria of what makes something good and what makes something bad. But I mean, come on, this is good. Like, no matter how you cut it, right? Am I right? I'm right. Probably, maybe, right. Oh, I'm definitely at trees are the enemy. Yeah, that's where I'm at. That's brilliant. Well said. I'm definitely at trees are the enemy, so maybe one day I'll be like UPS is the enemy. Yeah, thanks, man. You know, got a pretty tight little flow of things. That's one of the things I like about Gleba, right? It's just it just flows. Like everything, that's the concept. That's the key design concept, is just keep everything flowing. I really would like to have more copper, but I guess my design, the way I've got it, I can't really just build another one. Like I can, but maybe I'd have to just move the tip of the bus, just the tip, and just like keep going down this way. Because, I mean, what is it? It's actually just bioflux. It's actually just bioflux that needs to be, so maybe I can just bring in bioflux. Maybe I can just bot it in. Anyways, there was something else I was gonna do. Carbon fire. Carbon fire. I need to move the bus anyways. We need more building space over here. Alright, let's get some more bus room. I think this is going to require a bunch of land filling.
Alright, so we're out of refined concrete for now, but that's fine. I'm sure we'll get some pretty soon. And then I can put my Tesla turrets back. That's like a lake, right? Can they walk over a lake? I'm guessing they probably can, because they're just terrible in every possible way. Cool, I'm good with that. So yeah, we should have Fulgi coming in with more refined concrete. And you know what, Fulgi, you could probably take 2,000. Like, it seems like it's just super easy for Fulgora to launch rockets because of all the blue circuits, so that's totally fine with me. Yeah, 27,000, like, that's not a problem at all. Everything's still going really good on Fulgora. You, why are you over here? Or 30 seconds has passed, like... Why? Oh, on Gleba? Wait, this isn't supposed to be, it's actually supposed to be... Hold on a second, time passed. Let's just crank that right up for a second. Just give me a little bit of time. So what are we trying to say? We're trying to say this until you have a full cargo. That's actually what you need to do. Right? Yep. And that should mean that at this point... Oh, you shouldn't? Oh, because there's just these two at the back that have stuff. It's kind of unfortunate, but hey, we can just manually clear that. Not sure how that would have happened. It should always be balanced, but yeah, I mean, on Novice, this one I did the same thing I'm doing in my series, which is just build a giant base, a giant wall. And like they're getting pretty crowded up here. And I also built a little bit of waffling, but like they don't do anything at all. Like I put turrets with the ammo and with lasers, and I have flamethrowers as well. And I do have some artillery here, but I haven't turned them on. Like I just turn them sideways so they're not shooting until I'm there. So I was thinking about expanding the wall to get more copper. I'm probably gonna need at some point because we're down to like just under 2 million. It's kind of sad actually. Really unfortunate, but yeah, it's a situation where we will just artillery the crap out of them and get more copper. There's like 15 million just right there. Another 5 million there. Yeah, like I don't know. I mean, I never really had an issue with them on Novice. I feel like they're a little bit more difficult early game, but then they're still like just nothing at a certain point. Oh, let's get rid of that. But I don't know. I mean, anyways, carbon fiber is are the enemies on Gleba difficult? Like I don't know.
being damaged, right? Like these were being damaged somehow. The ones in the middle. Oh, that was a big, some small stomper pentapod shells. Yeah, so like they're coming at me here, and I don't really have very much going on for defenses. So like this is pretty important actually to get. If this is 4 mash per second times 8, 8 times 4 is 32, like that's just over a half belt. So maybe we put a couple of those and one of those. Is that gonna be, that's gonna be a little bit more actually. What if we just did 2 productivity modules? I mean, the choke point I think is gonna be here. No. There's so much spoilage, I think, coming out of this. This not... Oh, there is no spoilage filter on this. I think we need to take spoilage off after a certain amount, just like we do with the others. Right, so we should put an active thing here and just say spoilage only, but then we should also say only when spoilage we should actually enable, no, we don't want to enable disable this, we want to enable disable this. And say if spoilage is greater than 200, because what's our 150? Yeah, so basically, but then the nutrients here. Oh yeah, there we go. Carpet that jungle with concrete. Yeah, so then this kind of gets stuck, which is not really a good thing. But maybe we could like split the nutrients off and then filter only the nutrient side and put it back on. That might be kind of cumbersome. This is an interesting challenge I didn't really think about. And then now they're just going and putting more nutrients on there. It's like, no. We should say also if can't really connect the chest to the logistics network, which you think you would be able to, but like, I don't know. I guess that kind of makes sense. It'd be nice to just connect the chest to the logistics network and say enable disable only if you know, certain condition. And now I'm just like, hold on a second. I will be right back though. Just, I will be right back.
All right, we back. Let's get this carbon fiber going here. So yeah, I guess this is an interesting design challenge we're looking at. Is like, how do I guess what we really need to do is literally stop the nutrients coming in when we're full. So I think instead of doing this, we actually can just connect this and then also connect this and just say disconnect that, and then just say here, this one is actually the carbon fiber is greater than 2000, then no, less than 2000, less than 1900 even, just to give it a little bit of room. So right now it should be disabled by controller behavior. And then that way when it's in the full state, it'll stop requesting nutrients. And then similarly, this one here, we can just disconnect from that and then reconnect it to the logistics network and say, hey, look, if you're less than 2000, then enable, right? And then that way we don't need to do anything really special here. I guess we still do, because we want to just what if we can do something like this, where we say, because this is 8, right? So if we just say this is greater than 6, then will this work if it's only on one side? Because I don't want to hold all, I just want to hold this one. But it won't flow through otherwise. So there's no way to get it to flow through otherwise. But I think we could just do that, and then we can do this, and then we can do very similar this. This should be greater than 7. Maybe it should just be greater than or equal to 8. So that's actually a pretty nice way of just now we're cooking, right? Like, that's one way of now we're full, so we don't have, yeah. Could also have like this thing stop, but I don't think it needs to. So anyways, I think that might have fixed it. We'll see. I like that too, because it's just simpler. It'll just look simpler on all sides. So yeah, that's a factory win if you ask me. Yeah. So with that in mind, bring me some more concrete, please. We'll extend the belt. We need this stuff, which is Yamako mash, which is actually on the bottom. So maybe we'll put this down there later. Doesn't really matter that we could have the mash come up. Looks like we just need more mash though overall. Like, I like to really expand the mash making. Yeah, I don't think we have a single place here. Well, we actually got lots of room down there, but not. And then we have the soil. We need to start making that soil at some point, but. Anyways, that's a problem for later. We still actually have quite a bit piling up. It's mostly just being used to make plastic, which we have. Yeah, and it's stopped because we've used all our plastic, but we are consuming our plastic, so because it's going down over here. Oh, it looks like we're actually full. Nice. We're full on that, so we've hit a bit of a stasis. Okay,
So similarly over here. Okay, and then like that. Pretty much the same type of design is working for most of what we're doing. We need mash, and so this is going to be a two-belt design, I suppose. And it's mash, and so maybe mash and carbon. No, mash on the close belt, and then carbon. So it doesn't really matter. Maybe just the ingredients, and then right. So the ingredients on the close belt, and we're gonna have the mash come in. Doesn't matter what side. Right, like we've usually been doing something like that. That works for the most part. Just kind of hook it in, get on that side, and then that way we can probably do something actually like this again. I kind of like this just because it gives us that one space to work with here. Does make it so it's not really tileable, but I don't know, does this even work if we do it like this? Oh yeah, so it'll be tileable like this, but I just kind of got to design it left to right. So because yeah, the mash will come in from the bottom, right? Like we'll have a branch off and go up, but then we need we want to request our stuff in on that side, right? And basically we can just request as much as we want. Like we don't need to worry about that spoiling. I don't care if the belt gets full. Speaking of belt, we're gonna have just an output belt there of just the carbon fiber. Okay, and then another buffer chest there. And this one should work for this. Carbon fiber is less than 4,000. How much stack size? Yeah, I kind of figured that. So actually 9,000? No, 4,800 is its full state. Absolutely full. So if we have less than 4K, and then we just make this request here, say 48. Okay, and then I guess we also want this. And then we get these two in the middle. Right, and that should give us, yeah, it's actually at the limit now, which is nice. Yeah, so that's actually at the limit of its limit. And that's giving us 1, 2, 3, 4 per second, which is not bad. And that's consuming a bit less of the mash, which is also nice because it'll fit a full load on the belts. However, we may not be able to fit. We need in, and we need out, out. And this should be spoilage only going out back onto that belt. And then that actually works, right? So now this is supposed to be carbon. I'm gonna leave that for just for now, but I will just set a filter on it so I kind of remember. So carbon in there, and then yeah, because we want we can easily do that just so that we have this coming out here, and we can just set the filter of this to be nutrients. Again, just so we know. And then this can be filtered. So we do need to filter both yet again. I feel like well, we'll just do it. How was our design on this? A double design we got right here, actually. Right, so we do this, basically comes to here, and this becomes a filter as well. And this becomes the filter from this side. And then if we wanted to, we can actually tighten that up. And maybe we do want to. And that just looks a little bit better in there. And then we even had our nutrients inserter on there, which we don't really need for this one. But that's nice. And then that way, if we wanted to, we could dispose of nutrient into there of the spoilage. And I think that actually should cover it. Any obvious mistakes? I don't think so. Make sure I get all of it this time. Okay, and then we just go right into here or here, doesn't matter. And this we've got to, yeah, we just putting little bits in there, but we are putting a lot in here, which is totally fine. Oh yeah, oh yeah. So actually, if I just cut this and put it down, I don't know, just put it down over here. Cool, and that gives us a lot more room that we can work with, so we could actually make more copper and iron. We can easily make another copper and iron thing. Cool, and then this, we want to set that request. I mean, we could probably say give us 500. And then this one we want to attach to this, read, and say enable when this is less than, I think 75 is kind of what we've been going with, and then request 100 and trash. Oh, wait. I think I messed that up. I did, because this one's supposed to be here. Actually. Derp. Oh, and now we're full. So, but that's fine. I should be able to just pick all this up, and will it fix itself? We were trying to do, yeah, we were trying to do, we're trying to do nutrients on the outside, and I think I've got the nutrients on the outside now. And we can just trash this, trash this, trash this, and it should kind of more or less go all in its required spots. And now we got them all working. Okay. Excellent.
Alrighty. So from here, we should have everything we need to build the rocket turrets, but we're gonna have to come back to that in the next episode. I might try to go live again one more day extra this week, but otherwise it will be Friday. So keep a lookout for the series. The series is going to heat up pretty soon because we just got our wall. Well, we're getting the wall done. So in the next day or two, I think the wall will be completely done. And then things will really start to spice up in the actual series itself. Yeah, Mr. Man, thanks for chilling. Thanks for that really great design on the trains too. Like, that's really cool. It kind of opened my mind a bit. But yeah, definitely always down to chill and play Factorio. So yeah, but that's got to be it for now. Look out for the next episode of the series and see you on Friday, and maybe a surprise stream. You know, we'll see. But yeah, that's it for now. And have yourself a good night, everybody.